Hello everybody, this is Johnny S with another R6 vlog. One moment for the lovely plane to pass by. So, in today's topic we're going to talk about my current job position. I'm not going to give any specific because it is my current job. And also I will try not to go into a lot of details because my older jobs, people have passed, but now because in my current job there might be people that are in my current job, and my opinions and my views might influence them in such a way. I don't mean to do that. I don't have any agenda. I'm not trying to be positive off the bat. I'm not trying to be overly negative off the bat. I'm not trying to advertise. I'm not trying. Whatever I say is I'll say it simple. There is no chance that a manager will say this and try to promote me. I don't think so. You know what I mean? So my job here is not to advertise and not to play it cool because it's my current job. You know what I mean? No, I'm going to state the facts. I'm going to state what I believe. All jobs have the goods and the bads, let's say. Sorry for the interruption and sorry for the planes. Unfortunately, there's only two places that I can find which are kind of rather good. The problem is with one of these, which is this point here. It's the Metropolitan Expo in Athens, close to the airport. The bad thing is that there's a lot of airplanes. I'll try to put the camera a lot closer so people can see me better. So we're going to talk about today's job. We're going to talk about my current job. I don't know what I'm going to call the video because current job doesn't really mean anything. 2-3 years I might be in another job. I might still be in my current job. It's I think I might call it something like my third job in Greece. You know what I mean? Whether it's my current, whether it's the future, whether it's going to be the permanent, I hope so. I am really happy at my job. Disclaimer. So I'm just going to call it possibly my third job in Greece. It's an IT job. It's an IT company. It's very good. The way that I got that job and the period of time that I got the job is, I do believe, not by luck. I believe everything happens in a reason. I had another video talking about this. There was a period between my second and my third job in Australia, which was quite a big period. It was close to 1 year. 6 months was done on purpose. It was done because I wanted to do this and because my wife became pregnant and everything. And the rest of the 6 months was more actively looking for jobs. The problem was that the expectations of different employees, different companies are a little bit, how can I say, they're looking for something, and I understand why they're doing it. They're looking for something, especially if the market is oversaturated and there's a lot of resumes and things, and you got to choose between 100, 200 resumes. Then even if I was a manager, why I will do the same. Why will I not try to pick the best of the best of the best of the best? So the more contested the market becomes, the more difficult it is for you to find, and not because you might not be good, or not because you might not be the thing, but because they're looking for the perfect combination because they have such a vast range. Meaning that I got a lot of negative replies, to the point that I got disappointed, especially towards like the 9th, 10th, 11th month. I was really fucking disappointed. Like people were telling me, you're overqualified, you're overqualified. I kept on hearing that. You're overqualified, you're overqualified. Other people were telling me about my age. You're old, you're this, you're that. This got a bit of heavy lifting, and I'm not talking about like, I'll just give an explanation. One of the things that I wanted, it was a sound engineer position. There's a music channel here which is called Mad TV in Greece. I think it's global, but anyway, it's like MTV, let's say, Mad TV, and they wanted a sound engineer. Because I had worked on Pleasure, because I had worked a lot with TV systems, home cinema, surround sound, I knew everything about the sound, the setup, the electrical thing, the electronic thing, how to set it up. That was one of my positions, and it was different, and I thought, yeah, why not, you know what I mean? And because back then the second job was all the software things that I got, I thought, I am adaptable. Again, they did not want to take me, and their excuse was, you're too old and there's heavy lifting. I mean, how much heavy lifting is it? You're gonna lift up a 57-inch TV. There's not gonna be just one person. Usually 2 people go. You know what I mean? Anyway, and there were many other jobs like that. Some were paying very low money. Other people were looking, because I also looked to go into the developer positions, junior developer. I had done a lot of software programming at my school, C++, Java, but I was a little bit outdated. So then I went to the process of actually learning new languages like PHP. I've done a couple of courses in PHP programming. If you know the basics, then you know what I mean. So I was going into the process of trying to learn different languages. There was a PHP courses that I've done. I enrolled in the HackerRank, which is basically an online site where there's different exams and tests and like quizzes, let's say, and based on your score, I had a good score in HackerRank on C++ and PHP. There was another position for anyway. There's a lot of developer positions, but I didn't have the experience, and when I say experience, I mean the proper title for 1, 2, 3 years of a junior developer in such a language. I mean, I didn't have that. I didn't have a software experience in general, but that was like in there. And the other jobs that I went to get, some were saying that I was overqualified, some were saying that I had too much knowledge, so the perfect job is not the case. And because I came to be a father, and because I did not have a job at the moment, and I did not want to waste the money that was given to me from the let-go that my second job in Greece did, I got more anxious. And it is more difficult when you're going for a job to try when you don't have already a job. I mean, you cannot negotiate as easily, you cannot bargain, you cannot have demands, you cannot have, it's not my style anyway, but usually when I go for an interview, I just put my cards out and say, this is who I am, I really like this, I really like that, I am keen to work for this and this and this, I like the challenge, why do you live? I live like that. And usually when they ask me, if I don't have a specific job, what is your minimum, for example, I try to be as much as reasonable. So I look at the market, and whatever the market is, I'll go a little bit below. For this specific job, because of all the interviews were negative, when I went to my third job in Greece, it was very positive. I could feel the climate was very positive straight away. I was very happy, I was keen, it was nice. From the first interview, the second interview, the third interview, there was a interview with the manager, with different managers and different business unit managers. That was CEO of the company. We had another interview. They were saying a lot of things. They were asking proper questions. It was a proper interview. It was a proper interview, to the point that I was, because I had disappointed. I was thinking, don't put your hopes up. Don't put your hopes up. This looks like way too good to be true. You know what I mean? To the point that I did get the job on the third interview. They said, yeah, you can start straight away. And straight away, the company showed its colors, its true colors, which means that they were actually people-centric. They were actual people, and that showed straight away, because just to do the comparison, my second job, I was begging to do a training. For us to have a training, I was begging them to have a library of specific books, software books, that each one of us can chip in a little bit and make a library. They were all against it. The management was really bad on the second job. So on the third job, as soon as I start first week, the business unit manager said, we have a training on such and such program. I think it had already started for the day, but if you want, you can stay. Hell yeah, it's like, yeah, I'll go. So I was thirsty for knowledge, because the previous job was very, I was becoming dumb, I go straight into it, and these courses, we're talking about courses which is a lot of money, for a company to actually invest in the people, give a lot of money. We're talking about trips to Frankfurt, to Germany, for different courses. They give money, they give money to the people, because that's a business investment, and they're not cheap asses. I'm not saying they're not cheap asses, nah, I'm not going to give this, or we'll do this, we're not going to avoid the training. No. The fucking training is the training, Even the CEO has said a big percentage of your time should be in training, because you need to continuously learn new things. So this was a really strange concept in the sense that I was aware of what it should be like, but because of all the previous jobs that I had and interviews, it was not like that. It was actually strange for me to actually see that, hey, there are companies that are people-centric. I started believing that I will never find a company like that. I started believing that it was just a market strategy. You say that we're best workplace of 2004, best workplace, and they're not the best workplace, Each employee in the company votes for a best workplace, which is basically bullshit, So this job that my third job in Greece was actually the best job that I had so far. Good relationships with the managers, with everything, and especially coming from a job which you had a lot of backstabbing, a lot of people trying to climb, and very competitive and jealous, and this, to go to a company where everybody had your back. It was like, I couldn't fucking believe it. I couldn't believe it. I thought, you're dreaming. You know, it's like this, yeah, it's bullshit. You know what I mean? Something's got to be off. But as time passed, nothing was off. You know what I mean? So at the beginning, I was a little bit skeptical. I might have been a little bit on the offensive as well. But I saw slowly the way that people talk to me was like, you know, we're here to help you. We're here to do the job. Which is what every single job should be, you know what I mean? We don't care about this and this and this. We care about getting the job done. What do you want? You want this or that? Okay, work. How do you like to work? You like to work like that? Okay, work like that. You know what I mean? So that's my third job, and at the moment of the video, my current job as well. There is a lot of opportunities in this specific job. It's like I said, I'm not going to say any specific. It's a good job as far as relationships go. All the managers, the business unit managers, we have friendly sort of relationships. We are all there to do our things. I have been there for quite some years. I'm not planning to leaving. I would like to stay there, get pension. I don't care. There's a lot of opportunity as well. You can climb the ladder within. There's different positions, and there's a lot of ownership. You know what I mean? Because everybody is not like junior this, junior that. If you're going to do something, it's like, John, can you do this? Yeah, okay, take fucking ownership. That's it. Whether that's project managing a specific implementation, whether it's actually doing the implementation, whatever your role is, can you do that? Yeah, take ownership. There's no micromanagement. You don't have anybody above your head who's like, you're gonna do this, you can do like that, like that. No, the result will show. You know what I mean? If you're going to go spastic and you're not going to do your job, it's going to show. And like I said, there's a lot of training as well. That's the fucking awesome thing that I love about it. You know what I mean? Now I'm learning about a new program, which is for another new customer that we're going to propose this idea. So it's like a pre-sales presentation. Hence why I said I also want to start doing some of these YouTube videos in Greek. I might do the same videos that I've done so far, but I'm going to make them in a Greek version. You know what I mean? Because I want to practice my Greek. And it's not so much as in speaking Greek. Okay, I know how to speak Greek, obviously, it's my native tongue, but when you're doing a specific video on YouTube, when you're presenting something, you want to get a couple of points across, you're going to have an introduction, you're going to have your main points, and you need to vary your tone when you get things across. So practice makes perfect, and I think I'll start doing some of this as well, because that is a lacking factor that I've got. You know what I mean? I'm very monotonic in my speech, especially when it comes to the IT field. I tend to get a lot of analytical and a lot of into technical details, and I lose the crowd, so to speak. So, you know, this is one of the things that I'm thinking of doing. And that's about it. You know, there's not much more to say, because everything is good on the current job. Because, like I said, every job has the challenges, let's say. But in general, this position is good. Okay, obviously you're gonna have to work your ass off. You know what I mean? Obviously you have to study. Obviously you might need to work after hours. And there's none of this shit that it's like 9 to 5. You know what I mean? If the company needs you to be for after hours, you're going to be for after hours. You know what I mean? Just the way that they respect you, and just the way they understand. You say to the manager, to whoever is your supervisor, you know what I mean? Or can I leave 30 minutes early? Yeah, he will say yes. You can leave 30 minutes. That shows respect. You know what I mean? He's treating you as a fucking person. Same thing you need to do for them. You know what I mean? It's like one hand is washing the other, and both the face, we say in Greece. You know what I mean? You're there to help out. When you see them that they are like that, then it actually makes you want to perform better. You know what I mean? And not let them down. So I am glad that I found this job. There's a lot of discussions that I had with my wife and with some other people, and some friends, not from within my work, and they usually say that you're overdoing it, you're overstating it, and it's not that good. And the truth is not that. If you've been to as many jobs as I have been, you will realize how rare it is. And that's also another thing that I noticed with new kids, younger age, where they go to get the job and they don't respect it, because they don't have a point of comparison. You know what I mean? They haven't been through 10 fucked up jobs in order for them to realize that, oh, hold on, this is a good job. You know what I mean? So I'm all keen. I've got a lot of, let's say, motivation to actually work, learn new things. I am getting older, fair enough. I'm not like I used to be 28, 29, you know what I mean? My mind used to be much more sharp, let's say, but nevertheless, because I'm not like an old bastard, let's say, I mean, I still have a lot of thirst to learn new things. And now lately, I've been getting this feeling that I want to possibly teach. And I don't know if it's going to be possible to do it through this job that I have. It might be, but like this presentation thing is a good thing. You know what I mean? When you're much younger, you're more thirsty for knowledge. You know what I mean? When you get a little bit older, you want to start possibly being more of a managerial position, having someone be someone underneath you and sort of instructing them, teaching them, sharing, and you get that feeling. It's like a fatherly feeling. I can't explain it. You know what I mean? I'm starting to get that. And also the reason why I'm doing YouTube and I'm sharing these ideas and I'm talking, it's like that sharing thing. I don't know. It comes more evident, more strong. So if I can do this, whether that is doing presentations for the customers, I have done previously trainings for the customers, and this is where I want to get better at. You know what I mean? I really want to get better at doing trainings, presenting things, you know what I mean, in a nice way, engaging. Because at the moment I don't have that, that's not a strong point. I would like to do that, but that's not my, like if you ask me, do you want to be in a marketing position? No, I still love the IT thing, you know what I mean? The you know what I mean, the software side of things. But I would like to be more in like a higher, let's say, position, or to do something with training. We'll see how it goes. And because I've got good communication with my managers, you know what I mean, I tell them straight away, you know what I mean, what do you think about this and this? Is there something for me like that? Straight away they will say. So there's no, and that's very important. That's very important, to be able to be open and be true and yourself with your managers. Not pretend, not say something but mean something else. No, be straight from the bat like that. You know what I mean, are you happy with me? You know what I mean? If my manager is not happy with me, they will say, yeah, John, like I know them for so many years now. They will say, John, you're being a fucking idiot. And I'm not going to say, no, I'm being an idiot. Okay, why? I can take it, you know what I mean? I can take the fucking criticism. Give it to me. Got no problem. John, this, what you're doing is fucking spastic. Fix it. Well, I'll fix it. That's what I'm there for. You know what I mean? I'm not there to like, oh, I know everything. No, you don't know nothing. I mean, if you got a perception, it's not good. It's not good. And another life lesson here, if you're going to get a life lesson, is for a lot of new people that I see, that are looking for jobs, that are more juniors, let's say, they're trying to get in. I see them, whether it's a interview process that is happening at my work. There was such a circumstance more recently, and we were discussing with a work colleague this, and we were saying, how the market is as far as people go. You know what I mean? I'll try to give some hints. Okay, I'm not an expert. I don't pretend to be an expert. This is just my point of view. This is how somebody might view things from an employer perspective, and you as the employee, sorry for tapping the camera and shaking, might need to think a little bit about this and change your way. Not your character, just change your way a little bit, your approach. You know what I mean? I see one of the bad things that I see is that a lot of people have this thing that we call in Greece toupé. It's like I've done 3, 4, 5 jobs, I've got so many years experience, and I go there and it's like I'm all this. You know what I mean? You can't approach a job like that. On the other hand, you cannot be all clamped up. Like they ask you something, it's like no, you gotta be yourself. And when I say yourself, you gotta show that, you know what I mean, I am here to work. And this is a life lesson, this is not just for work. One of our things in life, and I know that it might sound cringe to some people, one of our main things is to serve. Serve is not bad. I want to get that fucking point across. If I get anything from this video to the people, to the younger, at least kids, but old kids as well, we are here to serve. You're not here to just be handed out stuff. You know what I mean? You're here to serve. You're an active part of the community, so you gotta contribute to this community. You're here to serve, whether you're serving in the army, whether you're serving as a father, whether you're serving in your family, whether you're serving or you're serving. And the more valuable you become is the more things you can provide. So responsibility, provision, this should be everybody's goal, you know what I mean? And if everybody was like that, then the climate would have been 10 times better. Unfortunately, there's people that straight away think, what can I get first and then what I can give. It's not like that. Think vice versa. What can I give? Look at yourself in the mirror before you go to the fucking interview and say, this is me. What can I offer? Why should somebody pay for this? For me. I know this, I know this, I know this. My strong points. Okay. What's my negative points? What can I improve on? I mean, I'm too competitive, or I'm not competitive enough, or I tend not to be a good team player, or I am a good team player. Say these things. It's not bad to say some of your negatives. You know what I mean? That shows that you got a fucking, that you're a conscious person with a mind, understanding your place and your position. You know what I mean? Say, I like this. I love to do this. I'm good at this and this and this. I've studied this. I would also like to learn that because I think it's interesting. And I do like in some areas, such as 1, 2. Don't go spastic. Don't say like all your things. You know what I mean? I'm bad. I like to drink. I like to smoke. Not like that. But say, I've got these 2, 3 bad points, but I want to, improve on them. That's it. And from then on, as far as the money goes, I will say, look at the market. And if you don't have another job, just think that when somebody tells you what is your minimum expected pay, it really plays a role. Really plays. It's not a simple matter. It really plays a role. You got to research this position, how much they pay for, research for a junior position, research for a higher sort of position, and then try to not go overboard. Don't go super silly. You know what I mean? If your position is getting paid for like $1,000, you're not going to go there and say, yeah, I can do the job for 500. Don't be a fucking idiot like that. You know what I mean? But go, usually if let's say an average is $1,000, go a little bit low. Say 900. 900 is the minimum that I can work, because you're going to be a junior. You know what I mean? You're going to go in the process of proving yourself, and that is not a bad thing. That's a challenge. You know what I mean? And when you challenge yourself, you become better. So because you're going to be for a trial period, let's say, try to go a little bit below. If they like you and you're awesome, and the company is a serious company, they're going to offer more. You know what I mean? As long as you're good. How the fuck are they going to offer more if they don't know? And that's another thing. Just having a fucking interview, you don't know the other person. You don't know the other person's personal things, their character. You can understand some things, you can see some things on the resume, written on paper, but how the fuck, okay, any employee is going to know your character, and if you're worth it, you know what I mean? If your strong points are things which are not on the paper, and it's like, I'm very friendly, I'm good-hearted, I'm keen to work, and I want to help a lot of people, you're not going to be able to showcase that, you know what I mean? That is going to be seen after quite a while. I am that type of person that I like to work. I don't say no, I can't do this, I can't do that. No, give me fucking shit to do, you know what I mean? I got no problem. And it can be like different types of things. It's not like, this is too low for me to have. I don't give a fuck. Give me, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're doing this? Let me fucking help you. Because like I said, you're there to fucking serve. If you got that mentality, that like, I'd much rather ask for less money and show that I'm that type of character, and then ask after 1 year, 2 years of, what do you think? Are you happy with me? Okay. Do you think there might be some other opportunity in the company? Don't say straight away like, how about you give me some more money? You know, do you think there's other opportunity in the company as well? Are you happy with me? I'm happy with you. You know what I mean? Can I advance a little bit? Say like that. They will understand what the fuck you're talking about. There's no idiots. They will understand that you want to climb. You know what I mean? You're ambitious. So that's just like some hints and some suggestions to, especially newer people. You know what I mean? I think older people mostly know this, but even to older people, to whoever it does that, try to find, I've said it a million times, I've gotten tired of saying it, but Metro Ariston, everything moderation is virtue, you know what I mean? You cannot be too extreme on this side, you cannot be too extreme on this side. You can't go on an interview and be like, oh, fucking love this job, oh, whoa, it's sexy. Don't be a moron, you know what I mean? And don't go to a job, on the other hand, going like, yeah, I know this, yeah, I worked 20 positions like that, I'm the best, yeah, it's good. No, show that you're keen to work, show that you still have passion in what you're doing. You know what I mean? You're not there because you just, making money. You like, everybody can make money, you know what I mean? You can do a fucking garbage man and make money. The point is that if you're following a career, you're there because you like what you're fucking doing. Obviously, it's not a hobby, it's work, and you're obviously gonna have to put the effort and everything. which means that it's going to be tiring, it's going to be stressful in some specific periods of time. But nevertheless, if you don't have the passion, if you don't like what you're doing, you're not gonna fucking do it. At some point of time, you're gonna hate yourself. You're gonna hate your job. You're gonna hate yourself. You know, like I'll speak for myself, just to give an example. That might be a lesson, that might be, you know, when I go out and like this summer, you know what I mean, we met with a lot of new people, we were talking about different things, they say, oh, where you are, I'm from Australia, I'm from this, when they ask about my job, well, what are your job, I always get excited to the point that I might overspeak, and my wife butts in, she like, you know, kicks me under the table, and she's like, you know, cut it down a little bit, because you're talking too much about your job. That's a good fucking thing though. Because especially if I see another IT guy, like a programmer or a database guy or something, it's like, yeah, I'm doing this, oh, you're doing this. You get obsessed talking about shit, you know what I mean? And that means that you got it. You know what I mean? If you lose that and you don't have it, or if you got into it for the wrong reasons. I had colleagues like that. They got into it because it was an opportunity. There was another guy on my second job that he had a very, like, a good friend, and he was a high position in the company. He got him in there, but it was not his thing, and I could see him that he was one of the persons that whenever I did something which was challenging, he always used to comment bad. I'm not gonna say his name. He was a good guy though, you know what I mean? We were friends, and he always used to say, why do you trouble yourself, you know what I mean? Why don't you just sit there, you know what I mean? You're comfortable here. I didn't like that comment, but he was saying this because to him, he didn't have the motivation and the ambition to take the next step and keep on pushing. I mean, he was like, oh, I'm here, it's all good, it's gonna stay here. So that's another thing, you know what I mean? You gotta like you gotta love what you're doing. And another thing which, like, I had a big argument with a relative of mine. I'm not gonna say specifics, and when people see you happy, like I'm happy now, I'm at work, okay? They tend to put down what you're doing. I was with another relative, and he was saying to me, for you it's easy, you found what you really like, you found this, you found that. And I told him, what the fuck are you talking about? It's not easy, and it's not 100% that you find something's like, oh, fucking awesome, I'm gonna do this for the song. It's not 100% like that. It's interesting enough. You realize that you gotta work at it, you gotta put a lot of effort into it, and you realize that it's something that can be applied industrialist in the industry in order for you to make money. You know what I mean? I'll give an example. When I was young, I really liked the technological things, and even to this day. And I also liked a lot of the artistic things. So I'm very good at sketching. Now I have not sketched because, you know, of my thing, but one of my hobbies is 3D design, 3D animation, sketching, game. That's why I'm a gamer as well. When I play a game, it's not just playing the game, it's like I admire the graphics, I'm into that, you know what I mean? But I realized that there's no future in that, at least when it comes from a professional perspective, you know what I mean? So what did I do? I didn't say I'm going to be a graphical artist because that's the only thing that I wanted. If I'm not going to do this, everything's going to get fucked. No, I had 2-3 things. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. I'm good at this and I'm good at that. You know what I mean? I've done a little bit of courses like this, a little bit of courses like that. Another thing that I liked was mechanical engineering. You know what I mean? So I did a couple of mechanical engineering when I was at college, but that was not 100% of my liking. Then I did a little bit of the IT things. It was more interesting because I realized that it's a vast thing. You know what I mean? On the mechanical things, you learn something, and besides of a new technology coming every 2-3 years, there was nothing more to learn. It was on the IT thing, it was a vast thing, you know. I mean, you could have gone to programming, you could have gone to PLC, you could have gone to web, to software, to like whatever the fuck you wanted to go. There's like a million things. And because I was a guy that was like a gamer, I was interested. I was always on my computer. I was always from a young kid. It was interesting. I thought to myself, okay, get good at that. That's something that you like. You know what I mean? Do it. So when somebody turns around and says, you find what you like, it's not like the spirit came from the thing and said, oh, John, you're going to be an IT guy. No, there were multiple things I like to do, but obviously being an artist is a difficult sort of field to follow. Not that you cannot do it, I'm not saying that, but it is a difficult field to follow. So I chose the second. I was blessed at least that I had 2. And not only 2, I had some 3-4, you know what I mean? Out of all these ones, the IT thing was the one that I really liked. And there was a creative component to it as well. And I remember it was the first time that I started getting into programming. We used to do C++. And then we did Turbo C. And the nice thing and the creative thing that I really liked is when the teacher told us, you know, you make a program that is going to do that. The fact that it was just a blank page and I could start from the beginning and start orchestrating what I wanted to do and create something, it was fucking awesome, you know what I mean? And then I realized that not only I liked to write my program, like when we had that project at school, I wrote the program. The teacher said that there has to be something that has to perform a specific calculation. So there were 3-4 parameters, but you were free to do whatever the fuck you wanted. So I did make a program. Back then, I think it was like an RPG game. It was text. It was like you go in front of a road. Which path do you take, the left or the right? On the right there's a tree, on the left there's a thing, and you press. I wrote the code for that, you know what I mean? That was C++. It was just if-else functions, you know what I mean? So I wrote the program that. Once I did that, I completed, I had notes, I had comments, everything was beautiful. Then I realized that I wanted to make it better, make it shorter, make it smarter, you know what I mean? So I was optimizing the code, you know what I mean? From 3-4 pages, I made it like 3.5 pages, 3 pages. I managed to do it like. So that showed me that, dude, you're fucking interested in this, you know what I mean? And you're good at it, and I got good marks. So that's how I got into that component. And it's not just programming. I'm just mentioning one of the components. There's many things, you know, in the IT industry that you can get yourself into. And like the IT industry, other industries accordingly. As long as you find the motivation, and that's another thing. Whatever you do, let's say you're an artist. I'll give another example. Let's say you're an artist and you like to draw clouds, and some guy comes to you and says, I want you to draw a horse. If you're not motivated to do it, you might get bummed out, even though you're an artist. You will say, oh fuck man, my job is asking me to draw these things, but I want to draw these other things. So you gotta realize at some point that no, you have to self-motivate yourself. A work is work, a job is job. You're not there to do whatever the fuck you want. People will tell you what to do. So even though it's your field, you know what I mean, you have to sort of motivate yourself. It's not like, oh, I found everything is fucking awesome. No, not that everything is awesomeness. As I was saying, you have to find a way to self-motivate and find purposefulness in your job. You have to find a way to like it. You know what I mean? It's not pretending you like it. You are liking it, but you're finding a way to intrigue yourself. Because there will be times that with your work, and this happens across all jobs, that you're going to be told to do things which might be in the IT field or whatever field you are, which are not exactly to your liking. Again, you have to do them. There might be times where you might be told to do exactly what you want. Draw me a building. Yeah, you love drawing buildings, but they might tell you that I need you to draw me a building by 6 o'clock this afternoon. You gotta fucking do it quick. So there will be pressures, there will be difficulties, and you have to find your way to keep the spark, the interest that you have alive. It's not done by luck. You know what I mean? You gotta actively do it. So this is also an advice to everybody that says that it was easy for you. Yeah, I was not born an IT guy. I didn't wake up from, you know, my mom's womb and I was like, oh yeah, I want to be into fucking computers and I want to work here and do this. No, it was not like that. Slowly, you find what you like. You find 1, 2, 3 things. You be flexible, you be adaptable, and then once you find something which can make money and it is interesting and you can help, provide, serve, in other words, what I was saying before, then fucking do it. Very simple as that. Anyway, don't want to take too much of your time. I think we had quite a detailed discussion. This was my 3rd job, and I wanted to also, just not because I just wanted to speak about my job, I also wanted to give some hints, because, you know, try to be like the things that I mentioned, you know what I mean? It's not that I'm doing it perfectly. I'm not here to pretend that I'm the guru master. It's just my personal experiences, how I see things from my perspective, and to some people this might be helpful. Listen to this type of an opinion, you know what I mean? Anyway, I hope you liked the video, and I will bid you goodbye. Bye bye.